With huge flames and fires erupting everywhere, Krypton is tearing apart. Jor-El, the planet's leading scientist, is planning to send all the knowledge of his planet off-world in a rocket capsule. Every preparation has been made, and the last remaining task is to fertilize one of his wife's eggs with his own DNA to ensure the creation of their son, Kal-El. As Jor-El is about to provide a DNA sample from his finger, General Zod breaks in and blasts off Jor-El's hand. Despite having been warned against tapping into the molten core of Krypton to power his machine, Zod ignored his old colleague and initiated the doom of their civilization. Zod inserts his finger into the pod and fertilizes the egg instead, hoping his offspring will grow up to conquer whichever planet upon which it lands. The rocket streaks into the sky just as Krypton explodes, passing through deep space as the incubator inside creates a baby boy. The rocket lands in a rural region of the Texas-Mexico border. A pair of Mexican migrant workers find the crashed pod and adopt the baby boy as their son. Federal forces arrive on the scene moments later, but they aren't members of the Border Patrol. They are officials working for Lex Luthor. Luthor has tracked the incoming space object to this place and instructs his men to take the ship for study. Years later, the Kryptonian has grown up to become Superman. He now leads a trio of superpowered crime fighters, along with the Batman, aka pseudo-vampire Dr. Kirk Langstrom, and Wonder Woman, the new god Bekka. Collectively known as the Justice League, the trio behave more like mob enforcers as they kill their targets with impunity. In an ensuing fight against a criminal gang, Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman engage head-on with the gunmen, although the military advise them not to engage. Superman kills the gunman without any hesitation, and so does the Wonder Woman. Batman has taken things a step further as he drinks the blood of his kills since he is a vampire. Due to their careless antics, the city people are calling for accountability, and even the media is questioning their ruthlessness over the gruesome deaths of the criminal gang. Superman shuts down the newsfeed with disgust as he sees Lex Luthor warning the White House over the actions of the Justice League. Batman reports stats from all over the world regarding world dominance by the League and the preference of the people for a rebellion. Superman has a master plan in mind, it seems. Superman hires Silas Stone to work on a project for him. As Silas Stone enters the Justice League tower escorted by robots, Superman welcomes him and takes him floating upwards to their designated workspace. Dr. Victor Fries is on his way to retrieve one last set of thermal readings in the Arctic Circle, and he gets a call from Hank, one of his co-workers. The storm front was coming in faster than expected. Just as he began to download the last reading, a boom tube appeared in the distance. Bat-Droid stepped out and chased after him. Freeze took off in his sled but lost focus and crashed. He quickly grabbed a handgun from his satchel and looked around. He backed right into the Bat-Droid and fired in vain. The bullets bounced off. The Bat-Droid bit his neck, severing his carotid artery, and drained all his blood, just like the vampire Batman would do to his victims. After doing his presentation to the Senate, Dr. Ray Palmer and his assistant Ryan Choi gathered up 3 shrunken horses and placed them in kennels on Palmer's pickup truck. Palmer started the long drive from upstate Gotham to DC and called up his wife Jean, then left a voicemail. Suddenly, Wonder Droid appeared from a boom tube and sliced through the center of his truck. Palmer pulled a U-turn and sped off. The droid leaped onto the truck and plunged its sword into the cab. It reached in and bashed Palmer's head into the steering wheel. He went over the side of the road and plunged over the cliff. Palmer survived the crash and quickly hid behind a tree. The droid arrived and looked around. It kicked the truck and was about to leave when Palmer's cell phone rang. Palmer turned it off and saw the droid was gone. The Wonder Droid appeared behind Palmer and sliced him in half. Batman contacts Will Magnus via a video call and consults him regarding the cure for his vampiric condition. Will informs Batman on the death of Dr. Ray Palmer. One night, the young Victor Stone hung out with his father at the lab. He wanted to know everything about his father's day working at the Tower of Justice, specifically the Justice League. Dr. Stone remained coy about them and was about to talk about Wonder Woman when Superdroid arrived. Dr. Stone told Victor to run while he held it off. Victor Stone returned with a compact advanced rocket-propelled grenade launcher and assaulted the droid. However, he soon ran out of ammo. The droid powered up and blew the lab up. The explosion instantly killed the Stones. Only their skeletons were left. The next morning, when the military show up for the investigation, Lois Lane tries to barge her way in to get an idea on the scene. Superman arrives with Wonder Woman, and he readily checks in and pays his respects for the deceased father and son. Back in the headquarters, Batman explains the recent deaths of the renowned scientists, and Superman gets the idea that someone is trying to frame the Justice League for the deaths. Superman tells Wonder Woman to stay updated with Steve Trevor, which she notes duly. Batman goes to Silas Stone's office at Gotham University and logs onto the office's computer, discovering files on a project called Fair Play and the scientists who worked on it. 3 of them are dead, meaning the others are in danger. Batman, whose real name is Kirk Langstrom, Will Magnus, and Will's wife Tina are old college friends who were taught by Lex Luthor to use their minds for bettering mankind. In the aftermath of their graduation, Will and Tina have to force Kirk out of his lab work for the graduation party, since he is deeply taken into it. After the party, they go back to Will and Tina's place, but Kirk falls down unconscious. It is only then that his friends get to know that Kirk is suffering from lymphoma. They eventually decide to use an experimental cure of bat venom and Will's nanites to destroy his tumor. However, this accidentally made him vampiric. When Will and Tina try to get to him, it's too late, as Kirk jumps out the window and drinks the blood of a thug who jumps on him in a dark alley. Seeing that someone is trying to frame them, Superman visits Lois Lane at her office at the Daily Planet and invites Lois Lane to the Watchtower. He explained that he hired Silas Stone to try fixing the corrupt data from his spaceship, which he took back from the government by force in the hopes that it contains data that could help him better Earth. Lois ultimately questions his motives roughly and leaves. President Amanda Waller contacts Superman and Wonder Woman in the Watchtower and warns them about the incoming hostility if they do not cooperate with the government with the recent deaths of the scientists. This only gives air to the already brimming fire and puts Superman in a real bad mood. Meanwhile, Batman visits his old friend Will Magnus and runs into Will and Dr. Karen having an argument about the doings of the Justice League. Will then hints that something is being planned against the Justice League. On the way out, Batman runs into Tina, Will's wife, who still has a soft spot in his heart, and so does she.
I know, the skin is cold, but the heart's still warm.
Wonder Woman visits her old flame Steve Trevor, who is practicing his battle skills in the gym. They have an intense chat about everything going on and challenge each other for a fight on a fair bet. Trevor accidentally angers her by bringing up her past love.
You belonged to someone once.
In a flashback, it's revealed Bekka was to be wed to Orion, son of Darkseid. Through Orion's kind gestures, Bekka truly fell in love with him. On the day of their wedding, Highfather betrayed the truce and took out Darkseid and his lieutenants. Orion tried to stop him but was killed. Brokenhearted, Bekka used her wedding gift, her sword with a mother box built in, to escape and plan her revenge. Batman spies on a meeting of the surviving scientists, who teamed up with Lex Luthor many years ago for the secret project Fair Play. Suddenly, several boom tubes open up, and the droids step into the mansion, and Kirk intercepts the killer robots that attack. However, they manage to overwhelm Batman and kill everyone inside the mansion. Kirk is heartbroken with the death of Tina, and the droids prove to be too powerful for him as they kill everyone except Will, who is heavily disfigured. Will is taken back to Watchtower, Superman now further enraged by this, deciding only Luthor can give him the answers he needs. Superman finds him in a space station behind the moon. Luthor is now heavily crippled. Lex reveals the truth to Superman, as he shows him the real footage recovered from his ship. General Zod, who is his biological father, was a madman who destroyed Krypton, and that President Waller has the real data from his ship. Superman leaves, just as a robot droid blows up the space station. Waller sees circumstantial footage of Superman being there, deciding to implement Project Fair Play. Superman and Wonder Woman try reasoning with them, but it's long past the point of no return. The city of Metropolis is being evacuated. The battle has begun. This is something no one ever expected. As soldiers come with UV-powered laser guns, putting Superman on the ground. Wonder Woman defends Superman until he gains his strength back, as the duo decides to go ballistic on the army. However, it appears the power of the League is finally matched by the mortal beings of Earth. Suddenly, Luthor arrives via a boom tube, revealing that the Justice League has been framed to buy time.
Luthor, move!
Trevor, you ass! Listen to me. I've been monitoring the tower. It's Magnus.
Inside the Watchtower, it's revealed that Will was behind the entire thing, having used his metal men to organize his entrance into the Justice League headquarters. He needs Superman's ship to power a bomb that will spread nanites to every person on the planet to link them into one hive mind. He also reveals, much to his regret, that he accidentally killed his wife in a fit of rage. He replaced her with platinum to avoid suspicion. While Batman fights Magnus, Superman destroys gold, bronze, and steel, and Wonder Woman sends platinum into the sun with a boom tube. Superman tosses his ship into space, allowing it to explode harmlessly. Seeing he's done something unforgivable, Magnus uses nanites to turn himself into dust. Weeks later, the world has come to see the Justice League in a new, positive light. Bekka decides to go home to face her past, with Luthor accompanying her. However, Luthor also reveals he stole the data back from Waller, telling Superman to be a real hero by using it to help people. After they leave, Superman tells Batman that it's time they stay out of politics and start focusing on the well-being of the common people. Batman agrees to something finally. Bomb. Brainiac is destroying Metropolis with an intense red energy field that threatens to wipe out the United States. Since the government is unable to contact Superman, Dr. Sivana recommends that President Amanda Waller order a nuclear strike on the city. Sivana muses out loud that it is ironic that the government needs Superman's help in destroying Brainiac, who was created by the government in an attempt to check Superman's power. Waller reluctantly orders the strike. Before the bomb is dropped, Superman intercepts the bomber and scratches words on his cockpit window, asking him to be given 5 minutes in order to stop Brainiac. Superman flies to the city and struggles against extreme forces and wind generated by the field as he walks toward it. After going inside the energy field, Superman finds Brainiac is a small, mutilated, cybernetic, distraught child who does not know who he is, says he got away from someone, and that he cannot control his powers. Superman states that he had learned to control his powers when he himself was a child, and says that the child must concentrate. The sobbing child, however, finds himself unable to, driving Superman to believe that he must kill the child to stop him before it's too late. The child, also coming to this realization, pleads for Superman to do it. Superman uses his heat vision to kill Brainiac, and the energy field subsides. Superman then sighs in relief, but is saddened by what he had to do. Twisted. Batman, using retractable wings in his suit, flies over an abandoned warehouse to confront Harley Quinn, a deranged murderer who kidnaps people, kills them, and then mutilates their corpses. He enters and finds sinks filled with blood and a refrigerator with frozen corpses, heads, and limbs. Upon entering the basement, he finds several crates, clown-themed items, and large jack-in-the-boxes, one with the top half of one of Harley's victims. When he finds and frees her latest captive from the third box, Harley enters, and enraged at Batman depriving her of a victim, attacks Batman with a large sledgehammer, driving him back as Harley swings and swats him through the air when he tries to pounce on her from the ceiling. Batman then sees a whole family of taxidermy bodies, set up just like a normal American family in the living room as Harley confronts him. An intense combat sequence ensues, with Harley taking up a chainsaw against Batman after being disarmed of her mallet. She strikes the mallet against a wall and accidentally destroys it, along with some of her rotting human taxidermy, while slashing at Batman. Harley, having wounded her abdomen when her chainsaw was destroyed, gives up the fight and permits Batman to take her to prison. But instead of handing her over to the police, Batman, revealed to have retractable fangs and vampiric hunger, bites her neck and drinks her blood. Big. Steve Trevor is sent by President Waller on a mission to stop Cobra from unleashing an unknown superweapon on the world during Amanda Waller's inauguration by launching it inside a rocket capsule. Before Steve is executed by Cobra at gunpoint after being captured, Wonder Woman teleports to his location via boom tube using the mother box and her sword. She arrives just in time to save Steve. They defeat Cobra and his henchmen in an intense firefight. As Wonder Woman kills the Cobra leader with her sword, he presses a detonator that activates the superweapon, revealed to be Giganta, a blue, towering, female-shaped battle robot that bursts out of the rocket capsule. Due to Trevor's previous insistence that he can handle the mission alone, Wonder Woman does not intervene in the fight, while Trevor is repeatedly defeated by Giganta. When Steve is almost crushed in Giganta's hand, he finally asks for help.
What was that?
Help me!
Leading to Wonder Woman cutting off the robot's right arm, saving Trevor. But she is then pummeled into a wall and thrown aside. Giganta pulls off a piece of the metal wall to crush Wonder Woman under, while the latter telekinetically summons her sword to her hand to teleport away. Giganta steps on her before she turns on Steve once more. Before she can kill him, Wonder Woman, using another boom tube from her sword, teleports back to the fight onto Giganta's head and pulls out wiring in her brain, disabling her permanently. Before Steve Trevor is able to call Waller to tell her that the mission was a success, he is stopped by Wonder Woman, who proceeds to crush his phone and rip off his damaged shirt, implying that they are about to make love right there and then. Steve nervously asks Wonder Woman, "Am I gonna need a safe word?" Thank you for watching Second Look. Like, comment, share, and subscribe for more awesome videos. Have a nice day.